Good morning, good morning. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. This is the 10th March here today, and it seems like pound yen has really been playing with a lot of people's feelings here today. Well, for the past, I think, a whole week, 2 weeks, let's just make sure all our systems are up and running. All right, there we go. We got the stream up and running. We got people coming in Zoom. Just got to make sure that the... Okay, let's see here. All right, we're good to go. We are good to go. So let's take a look over here. Let's see what's happening. I haven't looked at the charts for about 24 hours, so this is going to be my first time in 24 hours looking at the charts here. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with pound yen over here and see what's happening on the daily time frame. So you can see I have a clean chart. Okay, so let's remove all analysis here. Potential buys above 153.50. Wow, we're at 151 at this point. All right, let's take a look at the weekly here. Weekly is coming up again to another possible rejection area. Man, weekly has been coming up to a lot of rejection areas, but I guess with the optimism in the pound and the weakness in the yen, we're really driving price up. So let's take a look on the daily. Let's take a look to the left-hand side because we got to find some sort of possible resistances on the left-hand side, right? So on the daily, the only thing we can take a look at this point is this resistance area around 152.486. Oh, what's this? This is not the right thing to have here. Okay, let's get rid of this highlighter like this. And what we want is our zone. So this is going to be the zone that we're targeting at, 152.400. Now looking down to the 4-hour time frame, let's take a look what's happening on the 4-hour time frame. So 4 hours is basically creating a resistance here. It's very apparent right over here. We got a resistance forming at 151, 160. Let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour is also creating resistance. This resistance is uniform across to like 151, 200, I would say, right over here, right? 151, 200. So we got a zone at that point. 30-minute also we got a zone at that point. But now since we have a resistance formed, we got a resistance right up over here. I think at the same time, we also have a support formed right at this point around 159.80, 159.90, that area right over here. Looking down to 15-minute time frame, yeah, I think from a selling perspective, it's going to be really difficult because even if price breaks below 150, 990, 980, the only problem we have below the support level are these wicks right over here. Because if we break the support, obviously, like, with momentum, we can continue down to fill these wicks. But these wicks also mean there were rejections here before. So that's the only problem we may come into as price comes down. So what we got to do is we got to measure this range. It's like a 10 pip range, 11 pip range, pretty dirty range to trade in. So I'm probably not going to be trading within this range at all. Not very clean here. Not clean at all. Yeah, look at that. Down towards the 1 hour support, not a clean range. It's like a 9-10 pip range over there. Let's take a look here on gold. So gold, daily time frame, we're rejecting 1716. So let's remove all the analysis here. So we're rejecting 1716 at that point. We got a zone there, obviously. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're breaking below the low of the previous 4-hour candle. So this means we're rejecting a resistance here at 1714, 1715. I think if we do continue moving down, the next target of support is going to be around 1702 because this is where 1-hour candles created support, and now we have clean candle here to the left hand side. So if we got a clean candle to the left hand side, this means there's a higher probability for price to continue down, but at the same time, we can't ignore this rejection here from the 8th of March, and we can't ignore this minor resistance here which was formed here either. So let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute is also coming down, but at the same time we broke below support around 1711 right over here. We have major news for USD. Yes, I think we have CPI here today. I think so. Yeah, we got CPI here today. So looking at 15-minute time frame, yeah, we are obviously coming down. Let's take a look here. So if we got CPI, I think it's going to be better to wait for CPI to happen. Yeah, they're looking at good numbers here for CPI. So it's kind of like how NFP moved. If you guys remember, NFP had really good numbers, and before the numbers were announced, price started falling, right? So when price started falling, that means that news was already priced in. So we're going to wait and see whether we continue to fall down before CPI, or do we consolidate right before CPI and then move at that point. take a look at this chart over here. This is pound yen 1 hour chart. Buys above if it makes a swift candle breakthrough. Yes, I'm looking at the same thing over there. Sells below this area. You're right. Makes sense, right? Other than that, it's just very choppy. A lot of wicks over here. Doesn't really make any sense. So even if you look at sells below, let's say 156.30, below 156.30, going all the way down towards, 150.400 right over here. I think this is a pretty good range here for price to come in. It's like a 20 pip range, 21 pip range. It's pretty nice. Good morning. Do you think my no trade range is too big? Let's take a look. No, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good no trade range. I almost have the same no trade range. It's like a lot of wicks here, rejections here. So it's very important to just stay calm and wait for price to break below, 156.30, and then we can go from there and see what happens. GPAUD, no trade range, sells when the 1 hour candle closes out of consolidation, looks good. And even below this wick here, looks even perfectly good too for price to continue down. What's this? I guess gold is gonna be good today. Plus we have CPI. Yes. We're gonna wait and see what happens on gold. So far we're just consolidating here on the small time frames here as well, making a low at 1708. So we're gonna see if we break this low to continue down or not. Does your price action strategy apply the same way to swing trading? Yes. It's not basically a strategy. It's basically knowing how the candles move. Right, and based on how candles move through zones, through making different market structure, you can anticipate where the next candles are gonna go. Basically, that's what it is. From the daily time frames to the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute. I believe all candles move the same way across all time frames. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a buy on USD CAD 1 hour chart. Bought above the wick over here for price to continue moving up. Looks good. I think at the same time, what you can do is you can manage the risk on the 30-minute time frame based on the 30-minute time frame. Let's take a look over here. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're breaking above this consolidation over here. Nice. Looking at 30-minute as well, looking pretty good. Yeah, the only thing you can do is if the 15-minute candle closes back in the range, then you can maybe manage risk over there. But looking based on the 1 hour time frame, it looks pretty good for price to continue up to maybe retest this area here and then to retest the low. I mean, that's what I can see, right? Because price made a high, came down, made a low, came up. So it's in a consolidation range here, but still if it moves up, I think it's going to be a pretty good trade. Do you trade the exact price action for gold or it's different? I think it's the same thing. Says executed here, expecting price to continue down as long as we stay below. Oh, already closed 50%. Yeah, I think what may happen is we may get like a retest, right? It's going to be better to wait for the low over here because if we're creating a low on the smaller time frames, that means that's an opportunity for price to kind of range before the high volatile news, which is going to be in about an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half. All right, so what I'm going to do is clean sells below. It will be 156.10. That's what we're going to look at here today. 156.10. All this is just noise. I don't even want to try to execute within all this noise over here. Let's take a look at this chart. Executed sells right over here. Yeah, it's good. It was good. It just, the probability wasn't there because you entered when the price broke the low and it didn't really work out, so probably the probability wasn't there for price to continue moving. That's it. Sometimes we're going to have losses where the trade is going to look perfect. We're going to follow all the rules, but then again, we're going to have a losing trade, right? And at that time, all you got to say is that, hey, listen, maybe the probability wasn't there for price to move in that moment. GJ is coming down. That's fine. GJ can break this area and come down here, no problem. Because here's the thing. If price breaks this low, right? If price continues down to this support, the next support is right over here, which is not that far away. It's like 10, 11 pips away. And then the next support is right over here, which is again 10, 11 pips away. So if we measure these ranges, right, this is like a 11 pip range, and below 150, 770, your range is like 14 pips, and it's pretty dirty too. And the reason why it's dirty is because you got all these wicks here to the left hand side. So these are possible rejections. So if I'm gonna look for a trade, I want to have a really, really easy trade, right? And I know for me to have a really easy trade, it's going to be below 150, 610, 150, 600. And the reason why is because below this area, we have clean candles that went up. So that's where I'm going to execute my trade. Below around 150, 630, 610. And obviously, I'm going to have a win over there. That's what I believe, right? So I'm going to wait for that. Who traded GG on London session this week? It did the same thing at the same time this whole week. Yes. Probably just gonna patiently wait here for pound yen. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Bit of consolidation. Sells 1/2 30-minute candle close below 4-hour support. Okay, looks good. So are you executing here, or did you execute, or just planning right now, or waiting for CPI? I think waiting for CPI is going to be a better idea. Price made a high. Would it be safe to say wait for support to retest the high? I think you're talking about pound yen over here. I think that's going to be a pretty good idea here as well. That's what I was thinking here in the back of my mind. The price basically made a high around 150, 180, right? And if we do create a support, I think we could retest that high, and then we'll have to kind of like manage this zone over here in the middle. I think if we can remove this zone, it's going to be a much better idea. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Because price made support, right? In London session, we rejected this area, and then we moved up to create a high around 150, 170. So if we're coming down, and if we start creating a support, I think it's going to be a much better idea for price to continue moving up to retest the high. I mean, the trend is also biased, right? I mean, the trend is bullish, so that makes sense. All right, buys above 151, 197. Looks good. We got clean traffic above this area, so, this is going to look good. We're going to see what happens. Would you consider buy stop and sell stops on gold for CPI? Probably. Probably. We'll see. Because CPI is a really, really high impact news event, right? It's a really high impact news event, and when you have a high impact news event, there's a high probability that your positions will get slipped. So we'll have to be very careful about that once CPI comes in. All right, USD/JPY. We got clean buys above 188.900. No trade range. Sells below 108.663. The only problem is this area right down over here. Yeah, we can also see USD/JPY is ranging due to CPI here soon too. So we're gonna see what happens. What do you mean by slipped? Slipped means when your positions, they get executed at the wrong price. Could be in your favor, or could be, could be against you at the same time too. GU sell. Oh, nice. Very nice trade here. Bearish trend. Rejection of resistance. Stop loss above previous candle. Beautiful. Textbook trade. Where can I learn what a buy stop and a sell stop is? Well, Mr. Loco Moco from the Gulag, I think the best way to learn about that is probably going to be on the babypips.com. So you go to babypips.com, and from here you can learn about buy stops and sell stops. Mr. Loco Moco. So this is going to be the place right over here. How to trade Forex. You go over here, and then you can learn about brokers and candlesticks and trend lines and all that fun stuff, and also about buy stops and sell stops. Oh, guys are making fun of Mr. Loco Moco. I mean, that's his name on YouTube. Loco Moco. Can you unmute me for a minute? I have a question on GJ because I see another zone. Oh yeah, sure.
Hey bro, Rakeel.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Good.
Good, good. You have to speak up. Your volume is really low. Seems like you're whispering.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So on 30-minute on DJ, I see a minor support at 155.47. So do you like not take that into consideration, or like do you expect volume to push through that zone?
I expect volume to push through that zone. I saw that there. I saw that as well. So that's why I switched over to the 1 hour time frame because I didn't want to see that on 30-minute time frame.
Okay,
So
makes sense.
so yeah.
Thank
So
you,
if
bro.
we do break below, we're expecting volume to continue pushing that price down.
Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take a look over here. This is US 30 over here. Oh, nice. Price made a high. Targets are at the high, waiting for support to form. I think this could be a textbook trade. If you can get a 30-minute candle to close bullish, 15-minute candle to show some sort of support, I think it could be a very good move to continue going up to retest the high. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Sells when candle breaks resistance 1.80300. Yes. Oh, hold on. 1.30800? Oh, you mean support. Yeah, I think you mean support. Sells when it breaks support. Okay, looks good, looks good. GPUSD, another sell over here. Secured 10 pips, stops at break even. Nice. We'll have to be very careful here. It's a Wednesday today. It's supposed to be a high volume day, and I'm going to wait to see if we do form a support at, 158.70 for price to continue pushing up to retest the highs or not. Yesterday I studied all my trades with the 15-minute confirmation and it pretty well nice, but I know it's a weaker confirmation. Any advice, should I stick to it or better use 30-minute confirmation? 30-minute confirmations are much stronger confirmations than the 15-minute, so I think that's going to be a much better idea. I don't put too much weight on the 15-minute candles and the confirmations on the 15-minute because obviously they're weak confirmations. I put a lot of weight on the 30-minute and especially on the 1 hour time frames, right? So if I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, all I can see is that the 1 hour candles, they rejected 158.80 during the London session, right? And London session is a really high volume session. So if we look at the candles in London session, we can see that we had one candle move all the way down, but it closed right above this area. And the next candle rejected this area. London Open really rejected this area and moved up. So now what we got to identify is that will price reject the same area in the New York session just like it did in the London session or not? Because if we start rejecting this on the New York session, I think there's a very high probability we can continue up to retest the highs at 151, 170. So that's going to be I think that's going to be a very important area to look at right down over here. Can you point me to where I can pre-order Magic Keys, please? So what you can do is you can go to www.magickeys.trade and you can pre-order Magic Keys from here. Very simple. I'm looking for buys. Could you please look at my chart? All right. You're looking for buys. Possible buys at 158.20. Okay. Looks good. 158.20. Yeah, I think on the 1 hour time frame, it's going to be somewhere right over here because this is where the supports were formed. When we have a lot of wicks over here, when we have a lot of consolidation, especially on the 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame, it's very important to look at the 1 hour time frame here first as well, because that's where you're going to get strong areas, and that's what I'm waiting for at this point to see what's going to happen. Yeah, so far we're just in a range over here. Could gold be doing a fake out? A fake out on gold is going to be when the 30-minute candle closes back above this range here. Once we close this back above, 1711, then that's going to be a fake out. Don't you think price can fill the wick on a 1 hour below 155.38.856? Yeah, I mean, if we break below this area, then we can fill this wick down over here. And if we measure this wick, this is it's a nice like 14-15 pip wick at that point. Okay, what's this over here? Don't you think price can fill the wick? Oh, okay, we already talked about that. If in 1 hour left clean range and 30 15 a lot of wicks, does it work or respect lower time frame? See, on the 1 hour, right over here, right over here, right below this area, we have clean range on the 1 hour time frame, but we have some wicks being thrown on the smaller time frames, right? So what we expect is we expect the higher time frame to continue price pushing down through this point with volume. So that's basically what I'm expecting. So if that happens, that happens. I'm gonna have a winning trade. But if that doesn't happen, then you know, it is what it is. Would you want the support to be created in hourly time frame or 30? I think 1 hour would be pretty good because it's a 1 hour zone. 30 minute, we can take a look into that as well. So we'll see what happens. Is this a good idea if the bearish candle reject 159.59 made a bullish candle in 15 minute? What? 159.59. I think it's better to send a chart. So let's see here. 159.59. Reject and made a bullish candle 15 minute. Is it a good idea to take a buy? Yeah, the only thing is there are these minor resistances here, so it's going to be a very delicate situation at this point, which I'm going to be very careful about. Because if you look at this range, it's like a 19, 20 pip range, but at the same time you have candles printing side by side, a lot of indecision happening, consolidation, ranging action. I mean, on the 1 hour time frame looks pretty nice, clean, but like smaller time frames, it looks very, very, very dirty. So yeah, basically it's not a very attractive situation to execute a trade in this area right here. It's not attractive at all. So I'm going to have to be very careful at this point. Looking at gold 5 minute chart, waiting for candle to close bearish below the previous one and retest the low right over here. Yeah, that makes sense. I think right now we're coming back in this range. We got about 2 minutes left for this candle to close. And if we do close in this range, I think this move down would have been a fake out for price to continue back up in this next range here. Just getting on. Hope you and yours are well. You may have mentioned that you would not be streaming the day before, but I think I missed that. Either way, hope it was. Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate it, Patrick. Did you buy a house from Forex money or that good mentorship money? The thing is, I have a house, I have a car, I have a family. That should be enough motivation for you. So maybe start focusing on how you can better your own life rather than to see how I bettered my own life. I think you forgot magic keys and investments too. Crazy, man. You guys need to focus on your life first. Like I'm 34. I'm 34. If I don't have good things in life when I'm 34, I think I need to do some changes, right? But if you're young right now, if you're in your 20s, you still have a lot of time. I worked through my 20s to get to where I am today. I'm 34. I'm not like a young guy. I'm a grown man. I'm supposed to have these things.
Bro,
Like,
Gulag knows more about your finances than the government.
no, at the same time, like it's not a rocket science, Like if you're in your mid 30s, you're reaching your late 30s, you're supposed to have these things. You're supposed to have a house, a car, family, like it's natural. If you don't, then you maybe made some bad decisions in life. If the 1 hour candle points prints are different from what I see here, any reason why? I think the only reason you see a 1 hour candles printing differently is because you have different liquidity providers. When you have different liquidity providers, then you see they have different spreads, they open and close different time. But like the 1 hour candle shouldn't have much of a difference too. Like you may see that difference on the 4 hour time frame or daily time frame, not so much on the 1 hour time frame. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is the 1 hour chart, waiting for support to form to retest the high. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing over here. I'm looking at the exact same thing at the support at this point. What are the best brokers to use? Best brokers to use. I can't talk about what's the best broker to use, but what I can talk about is the brokers I used. I used IC Markets, pretty good. I used Blackboard Markets, pretty good. Vantage FX, really good. Traders Domain, really, really good. Traders domain. Hugo's Way, I don't know. I maybe used Hugo's Way for about 3 months, 4 months, and their withdrawals came in like 4 parts. And then I was like, why is it coming in 4 parts? And then I was like, yeah, I don't like that. So then I left.
Are you looking for a broker? Then we've got Dominion Markets.
Yeah, yeah, I think I hyped that up too much. Hyped that up too much, and now it's taking a little bit of time to start up. What are possible trades on gold today? Possible trades on gold. So far we have a fake out over here below 1711. We have a fake out. Price is closing back in the range. So I think the only possible thing we can look at this point is wait for CPI to see what happens at that point. How does one take it easy in their 20s? When one big thing in life which has to happen in your 20s, marriage depends on your financial state. Oh, how to take it easy in your 20s? Just take it step by step, man. I'll tell you this much. Story time. I'll tell you this much. I got married when I was 24, 25. I had no clue what I'm going to do in life. I had no idea. All I knew was that I was working on the oil rigs and I needed to make money. That's it. That's all I knew. I needed to work. I needed to make money. I needed to save money because I'm getting married. And then the reason I need to save money is because I'm going to have kids one day and I want to maybe give them a good life. So that's what I did. I just worked. I worked on the oil rigs for about 2 years and then jumped into a sales business, saved money over there. So yeah, I just worked. So you just got to work. 20s is still a very, very young age. Man, I know some of my friends are in their 40s and they tell me I'm a baby. So what do you think I'm supposed to say to that? They're like, man, you're still a baby right now. Like, okay. So you got a lot of time in your 20s, trust me. Vantage recently did the same with my withdrawal, came in 2 parts. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure why they do that. Please do analysis on Euro AUD. I think you need to send a chart on Euro AUD and I'm going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at that chart and then we're going to see what's happening here. But so far, looking at pound yen, we're coming at the same area where price rejected in London session. The reason why I don't want to execute a sell at this point is because previously the 1 hour candles got rejected here. So that's one thing I'm going to be cautious about here today.
I've been trying to get my money out of AvaTrade for a year now.
Oh, what's happening?
Yeah, they said I've got to put money in and then take some money out, or some confusing situation.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. So, I'm just trying to. I don't want to put too much in because then I end up with more in there and I can't take out. They just keep rejecting the withdrawals.
Yeah, it's like the bank saying, "Hey, you need your money? Well, you got to put more in to get all of it out." Then.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't know.
And they're regulated and everything, man. I can't believe it. I'm gonna have to write a complaint or something.
All right, looks like we're breaking down over here. I really don't want to take a sell over here because of all this rejection here. You got a rejection over here. You got, really good sells are going to be below this area, 156.30. That's what I'm going to focus on here today. Or if you start rejecting this area and show some signs of moving up, then I might take a buy for price to retest the high at 151, 170, 160. All right, let's take a look at this over here. Buy stops before the news, if not broken yet. I don't know. We'll have to wait till the news happens. I think, it depends how much volume there's going to be in USDJPY coming up to the news. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at this trade idea over here. This trade idea is on gold, 1 hour chart, close 80% below the support. Okay, looks good. I think if we do start ranging here, I think that this range is going to be broken by the news. Because right now, so far, we came back, closed back in the range. And if we start closing back below 1711, I think we can continue down to retest the lows at, 1708. So we're going to see what happens here. I've been showing up for 6 months now, and if there's one thing that is planted in my head, it's there's always tomorrow. Yes, there's always tomorrow. So when I look at this chart and if I see that, okay, if I don't get a trade over here today, I know 100% there's always tomorrow. And price will print something favorable, something I can identify, and then I can execute on that idea. What's the best time frame for plotting resistance and support on gold? All time frames. All time frames are good. You look on the 30-minute time frame, you got support right down over here, and that's it. And you got resistance up over here. And now all you got to do is wait for the smaller time frames to show you some signs of where price is going to go. Tell there's always tomorrow to a guy who got ran over by a truck. Well, if you got ran over by the truck, I think you should stay in the hospital rather than being on the stream over here. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Hey, this was a risky trade, but small trade. Nice. I think it definitely was a risky trade. You took a sell over here. I think your stops could have been a little wider and price came down. Nice. Well done. You got that. So look at this right over here. The 30-minute candle is flipping at this point. So if we're flipping at this point, and if we do start closing bullish, I think I may be executing a buy for price to continue up. And I may ignore this minor resistance here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I may ignore this minor resistance and I may anticipate price to continue pushing bullish through pre-New York session, moving into the New York Open in about 54 minutes. Mr. T donated £1. Thank you, thank you. £1 reminds me of £1 fish. You guys heard the song £1 fish? Very, very good. £1 fish. Yeah, it goes very, very cheap. £1 fish. He got deported. He got famous. The authorities found out. They're like, all right, we're going to deport your ass. And he deported. Selling £1 fish. What things do you look at different when looking at gold instead of GJ? Nothing. Basically look at the same things, looking at price action. I mean, if you get a 30-minute candle closing below 1711, I think there's a very high probability for price to continue down. But if it doesn't, then it may just start ranging between 1711 and 1715. And the same thing right over here. If the 30-minute candle closes bullish over here, then I think there's a very high probability for price to continue moving up back to this minor resistance and then continue on towards 151, 150, which is the high made on the 1 hour time frame. So that's something I'm maybe looking at here today. So we'll see what happens. First of all, just gotta wait for this 15-minute candle to close over here. We got 7 minutes left at this point. Okay, what's this chart? Daniel Costa, we got a chart coming in. If we ignore this candle here, 30-minute candle closed below support, took trade, 30-minute flip bitch, got my 10 pips, nice. Would this be clean traffic? It'll be clean traffic, but a little risky, right? And the reason why it's going to be risky is because, look at this. We got rejections right over here, rejections here, so that's why it was a little risky, so I wouldn't have taken that trade, but if you did secure positions, I think that's pretty good. I think you got your trade here for the day here. Trade here for the day here. Kind of got a little rhyme to it. Does anybody here from Manila? Ooh. Philippines. All right, gold sells. Let's take a look over here. Gold sells. Strong resistance level, no trade range. Sells below 1711, looks good. So far, we're just coming back in the range, so I guess we'll have to wait here a little bit for those sells to kind of like materialize. Or maybe with CPI, we can have the sells. Hey, Raja, I noticed that when the price reaches some levels for the first time, like 20, 50, 80, 100, there's a resistance support, always turns back at least 10 pips. Is there a way to get these moves? The idea about whenever price reaches, let's say 151 even, price may reject this and go 10 pips, below that area. It's extremely risky. We can look at those ideas. You can start to execute on those. The only way to test that is to take those trades whenever it reaches your points you mentioned, like 20, 50, 80, 100. And if it works for the most time, then perfect. You got a strategy over there. But I can guarantee you it's not going to work all the time. It has been tried before, didn't really work for people. So, I mean, these ideas, they come on my plate all the time. So you can try it and see if it works or not. For me, it didn't work. And for the people I know, it didn't work for for the long term. When you went into full-time trading, how did you balance work and trading when you could? My work used to start at 9 a.m. in the morning. I would leave my house at 8:45 a.m. in the morning. So I would trade from like 5:30 to like 8:30, 8:20, depending on what time I can have breakfast and get ready to go to work. So I still gave time. And I was the one to wake up at like 7 a.m., 7:30. But trading was like a hobby, so I had to wake up early, I had to make time for it. So I had to sleep early, slept at like 10:30, 11, woke up at like 5:15 and start to look at the markets at like 5:30. Working on my dreams by sleeping less a little bit. What gives you the confidence to keep buying when it's overextended like that? Clean range. We got a high made over here, and technically if we reject, look at this, right? If we rejected this area in the London session, and if price starts creating bullish candles on the 30-minute time frame after this rejection over here, there's a very high probability we're going to continue up in New York session here as well. So that's what's giving me confidence that price can continue moving up. So it doesn't matter if it's overextended or, I mean, let's just stop looking at RSI and stuff like that. Because for sells, the only sells I'm looking at are below 156, 630, 610. Gold is also open, trying to come down over here. It's going to be pretty interesting. Can you explain how you trade as a beginner? Oh, as a business. I heard you mention that the other day in live stream you said losses are write-offs. What would the business be categorized as? Finance. You can categorize that as finance. But it also depends where you live, what your laws are, in the state you live, in the country you are. So the best person to talk about that is going to be an accountant. So you got to get an accountant. I have a very, very good accountant. I pay him good money and he helps me out a lot. So you need a really, really good accountant. Like an accountant who goes by the books and basically he knows what he's doing, right? What advice do you have for a 22-year-old student who has watched the market for over a year but hasn't been anywhere? Mr. Prakash Giri, I think what you need to do, I mean, I say this all the time, every day. You need to take a look at all your losses and you need to see why you took those losses. Was there something you could have done differently? And you can learn a lot from your losses. Most people don't look at the losses. I mean, you guys take losses, you're just like, hey, whatever, it was a loss. Let's move on. No. Whenever you execute a trade, whether it's the winning trade or the losing trade, you're executing in greatness. And the reason why it's greatness is because if it's a losing trade, you have the ability to learn how you could have done things differently. But if it's a winning trade, that means you took something from the market which you can replicate over and over again. So if you look at gold over here, we're breaking below 1710, 1750. Yeah, I mean, if you do continue break, if this candle closes bearish and the next one breaks it slow, I think we can continue moving down on gold. I may be willing to execute on that, so I'm going to have to wait for this 5-minute candle. There's these rejections over here as well. Have you ever tried trading gold on a 1-minute time frame? No. I stay away from those risky ideas. The 1-minute time frame, the 10-second charts. Can you please repeat the part of opening a corporate account with the broker? Yes, you contact your broker and you tell them you got to open a corporate account. And then they will tell you what they need from you. I've been trading for 5 years, but still no progress, but I still have hope of winning. When did Forex start to click for you? The first thing I did for myself when I started trading was I went out there and I got myself a mentor. I got myself some education, I got myself a mentor, and then I went on from there. but also the kind of guy who's gonna like keep tabs on you. He's gonna answer your questions and stuff like that. That's very, very important when you're starting out in trading. So I did that for myself. And man, trust me, when you get yourself a mentor, anyone, or if you get yourself some education, your learning curve is going to be reduced by tenfold. It helps a lot. This is why we have these live streams here now to really, really help people who are struggling. Like the main point of the live streams was to help guys who can't afford, expensive education and stuff like that. And also it was a way to kind of like show off the way, I mean, people take trades or call trades and stuff like that. Ooh, looks like USD CAD came back in the range over here. Probably, is it going to wait for CPI here as well? That's why it's ranging? Interesting. Where should the stops be in current impulse entry? I don't know what impulse entry you're taking. Do you only trade at the NY session or do you trade other sessions as well? No, it's just the NY session. I only trade the NY session. Closer till NYSE, New York Stock Exchange open, but for the majority of the part, it's just NY session. Yeah, see that 5-minute candle closed like a weak bearish candle, so no volume at that time. Looking at a 15-minute time frame here as well, we're still open at this time. No sells, no buys. Do you think London session does a lot of fake outs? I think it depends what the market is saying at that time. Like, I mean, if you look at the London session right over here from last night, it was very choppy. I mean, look at the amount of wicks price was throwing. I mean, there was one buys up over here. I mean, it was really, really choppy. It wasn't an easy session at all. Like, when I look at the way candles were forming, it wasn't easy at all. I think one fake out here and a lot of wicks over here. I mean, yeah, it wasn't easy at all. So you have to be very careful. You need a woman on your panel, Raja. No, I don't need anything. You need some good quality trades. That's what you need, because your attention is somewhere else.
Gulag is gulag, man.
Gulag is gulag, yeah. Why do spreads go crazy at 5 p.m. for Forex? Well, Luke is the one who made the comment about how did you buy our house, whether it's from Forex or mentorship. And your question is, why do spreads go crazy at 5 p.m.? I think that goes to show how uninformed you are about trading. 5 p.m. is when the markets are closed. When markets are closed, there's low volume, and there's low volume. That's why spreads go high. So I think you need to go through baby pips again at that point. Let's take a look over here. How do you suspect the CPI numbers will affect gold? This is my first day trading CPI news. Thanks. Oh, wow. Looks like you're going to play with fire here today. Well, what they're expecting is they're expecting good numbers, right? So previous January numbers were 0.3, February were 0.4. Oh, no, they're expecting February to be 0.4. Better than expected. Core CPI, they're expecting it to be good. So when they're expecting something good, and if I look at gold hasn't really moved bearish at all. It's just been ranging. I would say maybe gold made a low. It's doing a little fake out back in the range. So, I mean, who knows whether it comes to breaking down again or breaks up. But what I'm going to do is I may try to look at the same thing I did on NFP. Maybe wait for the 30-minute candle to close and then have like a buy stop above the 30-minute candle or sell stop below the 30-minute candle. So I think that's something I'm going to wait for here today. Alright, let's take a look at this over here. See this bearish volume? Bearish volume is dying here slowly. You had a lot of bearish momentum, small bearish candle, smaller bearish candle, which means the volume is dying at this point. If the volume is dying for price to continue down, I think volume may start increasing for price to continue back up. So we're going to take a look at the 30-minute time frame here. And if this candle closes bullish, I may be executing a buy, having the stops based on the 15-minute time frame. But the only thing that's gonna kind of like worry me are these wicks over here. That's the only thing that's something I'm gonna, like, keep an eye for. Gold, LOL. Gold is tricking us again. Gold is tricking nobody. There was no sells on gold. And gold is tricking nobody. All it's doing is it's just trying to move back up in the range over here. I'm trying to prove a point that CPI numbers will be bad. All right. Perfect. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Let's take a look at this chart. Consolidation, consolidation. That's true. We're waiting for CPI over here now today. We'll see what happens. I think even within this consolidation, it's going to be a good idea to kind of like draw some zones over here. You got a zone over here and potential move up over here. Maybe. But we'll see if in CPI we can really break this range or not. This nasty range. We got some resistance here above this area. We got another resistance up over here at around 1719, 1720. Squeeze it up to like 1719 right over here at this point. So we'll see what happens. Who makes more money, stock trader or Forex trader? I don't know. Both, I guess. Never really counted. Why don't you execute on a candle that finished with no wicks? When candles finish with no wicks, that means there's no range for the next candle to move up or down. So whenever you have candles with no wicks, that's something I've seen in the past, and I've really stayed away from it. Because if you look right over here, this candle finished with no wick over here. Next candle didn't necessarily move down, it just kind of like consolidated, and the next one moved up. Next, right over here, candle closed with no wick. Next candle had a hard time moving down. Right over here as well, small wick, little to no wick. Next candle had a hard time moving up. So that's why I stay away from candles with no wicks. Just offered a job, a teaching class from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It would be impossible for me to trade NY and Asian session. Any tips? 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I think what you can do is maybe you can trade pre-London. Pre-London you can trade. Or maybe also you can try to trade closer to London close. Closer to London close after your 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. thing. Because London close, there's a lot of volume there too. Hey, good morning, Kervin. You got Kervin in the house.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you?
Good, man. Good. How was your day yesterday? Awesome.
Oh, yeah, nice day. Amazing day yesterday.
That was great, man.
Met Jeevan, went out to eat.
I see, man.
Yeah. Eating out is a blessing in Canada, man. If you can go eat out, it's like a lottery. You won the lottery.
in Miami, man, that's a never, it's a regular day.
Yeah. Do you ever look at the dollar index to get an idea of the direction? No, never. I used to look at the dollar index to trade USD JPY, and I quickly learned that the dollar index, the DXY and USD JPY, they move completely differently. They move on two different variables. It's completely different. Like on the higher time frame, they may look almost the same, but small time frame, 30 minute, 1 hour, they're completely different. Oh wow, look at this. GPAUD sells. Currently in this sell. Could have gotten a better entry. Oh, I think this could be a delicate situation over here. You need to keep an eye on this area right down over here. Because if we start rejecting, that may mean we may start retesting the broken support. So we'll have to be careful. Coach, is it advisable to trade gold before high impact news? Probably not. Maybe not. Maybe I don't think that would be a good idea per se. I hope you're doing well. I have a question. I'm taking those trades most of the time. They're good to me. Is it a good idea to focus only on those setups? All right, let's take a look over here. This question is sent by the UN. Welcome, welcome UN to the stream. Let's take a look over here. We got UN in the house. GA 30-minute chart. Oh, nice. So it looks like, okay, so this is something I've also been looking at here too. It's a good thing someone sent this chart over here. So we had a candle close with no wick over here, but it closed below support. Now, we don't know whether the next candle is going to continue moving down or are we going to have some sort of a retracement, right? But I guess in this case, if the candle made a top wick here first and it started to break the low here in the second half, I think that was a pretty good idea to execute for price to continue down. This is something I've been looking at, especially when this candle closed below support. That's something we identified in this simulation we did on Sunday there as well.
Looks like slow day in the markets today, right?
Yeah.
So far, not much volume.
Nothing. The only thing I'm looking at is if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, that's going to be the close of the 30-minute candle. And then can I execute a buy for the overall 1 hour to continue back up to 151, 150?
Yeah, that can work. And to be honest, there's nothing that is telling me that to sell GG, no matter what. If you look at the weekly candles, all weekly candles, it's been like 2 months or so. It's been so trending, so nice. So at this point, you basically just wait for a structure to be created on the lower time frames with confirmation, in 30 minutes. Because when there's not enough volume, you're basically waiting for a 30-minute candle close to give you that confirmation and continue buy it.
Yeah. My gold trade, was it valid? Yes, I think it was valid. You took it on the break of the high after we did a little bit of a fake out there. Some people I know who did take that gold buy because of the fake out it did.
With gold, you gotta be careful today. I mean, since yesterday, with New York session, because if you look on the 1 hour and the 4 hour to the left, you see a massive consolidation range. From 1709 to 1719. So give me 1 second there. Just want you to pay attention on this area right here. So basically, from the body of the candles, you're basically trading along in this area right there. So at this point, you gotta be careful what happened below this area. Same that happened below this area. Sells are short term. Buys, short terms, you can play the range. Yeah, you can play the range, and slowly but surely later on you may get a break of that structure going to 1725 or a 30-minute candle closing below that area to retest these lows right here. Other than that, this area is dangerous to trade. So don't expect so much on gold in this level. The easiest way to take that trade will be outside that box, outside that consolidation, and then you may ride gold toward this area or even this area right here. Now, if we start breaking below this area, man, you have this beautiful candle, clean candle to the downside. So, but you need to wait for confirmation. 15 or 30-minute candle closing below that range, the body of the candle, be nice.
Yes, sir. We got CPI there too. All right. We're about to close over here in 50 seconds. So if I take a buy at this point, my stop is going to be like 7, 8, 9 pips over here. I think that's great idea. Expecting the 1 hour candle to continue up, 30-minute candle, 15-minute about to close, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. To retest the high at 151, 150. I mean, if I can manage risk, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to execute a buy right over here. I executed a buy. My stop is below the 15-minute candle over here. Anticipating price to at least come up towards 151, 151, 070, 080. And now I got to take a look at how I'm going to manage risk. That's going to be the most important part. See here. So I think the way I'm going to manage risk is if this candle starts breaking below the previous one, starts coming down towards, let's say, 150, 900, I think that's where I'm going to close 50% of my position when it comes down towards 150, 900. Yeah, that's going to be a better idea to manage risk over there at that point. But yeah, I think if we rejected this area on the 1 hour time frame, if we rejected this area in the London session, I think we should also be rejecting this in the New York session for price to continue moving bullish. And that's why I'm executing on this trade idea here. 30-minute also closed bullish, clean traffic to the left hand side. So yeah, should be pretty good. Man, if not, then this is going to be my first loss of the month.
Amazing.
I still think maybe early for GJ. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, gold is still in this range. Gold is still waiting for CPI in about an hour. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects. Ooh, USD CAD is trying to break down here as well. Let's take a look at your JPY. I haven't really seen your JPY. Your JPY is also moving bullish at this point through these rejection areas. Man, this is crazy. The amount of rejections we've had right here on the daily time frame, and we're still moving through this area. This is like moving through a jungle at this point. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, we're coming up to a resistance area here as well, around 129, 470, 500. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, we're slowly trying to move up, but there's a rejection area here to the left hand side. Looking at the 30-minute, yeah, it's a very delicate situation here. I think buys above 129, 500 would be much better on your JPY for price to continue moving. You got a range up at 129, 620 there, like 12 pip range. Pound yen, I think if you're going to move up, it's just creating like a lower wick for price to continue pushing above this area to move up. But if you do come down towards, let's say, 15900, I'm going to be closing 50% of my position. Actually, I'm going to be closing like 60% of my position at that point, because I want to lose less than what I'm planning to lose. I've seen this candle formation before, and GJ may touch the same support again before continuing bullish. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. I'm trying to learn US 30. Buy when broke the high with the previous volume size. Oh, nice. I think we were looking at this chart before, and the idea was for price to create a support and then to continue bullish. But you're right, if we break the zone, I think we can continue moving up within this area. What is the largest session by volume? This session right now is the largest session by volume. You got your London session, you got New York session open at the same time. So it's the same thing. All right, let's take a look at GU over here. Let's see what GU is doing. Actually, oh, GU is also making that a little bit of a move up over here on the 15-minute time frame, especially on the 1 hour. We're also rejecting that area here as we did before. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator and see what's going on. So the trusted Chinese indicator is saying pound is not that strong as it should be for price to move up, but the yen is weak. So we'll take it by the ear and we'll see how this pans out, basically.
Untrusted Chinese indicator.
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming down. So at this point right here, I closed around 50%. At this point, right over here, I closed 50% at this point right over here. Again, I closed 50% right at this point. And if we continue moving up from this point, perfect. If we do continue down, I think I'm going to lose less than what I expected to lose. So just understand that part. So as much as you want to copy trades, also copy risk management too. You know, because it makes no sense for you to copy a trade, it goes in a drawdown and you don't close and then you encounter a bigger loss than you anticipated.
You're not worried about like 151 even?
151 even?
Yeah.
Nope, because if the 1 hour candle closes bullish, then we got to clean candles like to go up. I mean, if we do reject 151 even, so be it. You know, we reject it.
Yeah, and that means, you know, if you're gonna get a nice break from 151 toward that to the upside, you'll get a nice strong push. So I still think that this trade can play out really nice for the buys. Basically, you just need price to stay above 159,900. Other than that, if we start breaking below that, yeah, you will get a quick fill to the downside. But if you get the, let's say from 7:45 to 8 a.m., the closing for the hourly candle can easily reject that support and giving you another push to the upside to retest with the new hour opening with New York volume. You will get that move to the upside to 151, 200 at least. But you need price to stay above 150, 900.
Oh, the way it's coming down at this point, I closed everything.
Okay.
I closed everything at this point right over here. So lost around like 4 pips at this point. 4.3 pips. Yes. So I had a 15 lot open. My risk was around $1,300 and I closed my trade with like a $500 loss. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Lost less than expected. This is a GJ buy. Negative 4.3 pips. Beautiful. Most of my wins are like 10 pips, 12 pips, 15 pips. So having a loss of about like 4 pips, 5 pips, it's whatever. And then you know that the next day you can make it all back. You know, it's no problem at all. Why closing here? Because my comfort level is not there to keep holding this trade. The way it's coming down on the 15-minute time frame, the comfort level is not there. I wasn't expecting it to continue all the way down and maybe expected it to make a wick around, you know, 150, 940 and then go up. But that's why I secured earlier and then I closed everything once I saw it really coming down hard, you know, so got a little uncomfortable at that point. So my winning streak is over, man. Sad day here today. Where's that losing
Hey,
air?
Raja.
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning.
That one loss, so get it out of the way. Now it's time for 7 straight winners again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Did you manage the first when you got out with the first like 50%? I don't know how much you closed. Do you take that based on the 5 minute when you close? Or not?
No, that was based on if we do come down in the middle of this area around, 150, 920, somewhere over there, I'm going to close 50%, which I did.
Okay, yeah.
And once it pushed down harder, closer to 150, 900, I was like, yeah, you know what? If it's pushing down to that point, it's better to just get rid of the trade. Because even
Yeah.
if I give my trade a second chance, right? If I give my trade a second chance, and if we do start breaking above, let's say 159.70 to continue back up over here, then I can make that back and more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you do it again and you still have the same risk management, you can basically take the trade twice every time while losing once
Exactly.
with the entire position.
Yeah. So at this point, I think it was a really good idea to close out the entire position because we can see how it broke the low over here, and now it's really coming down to support. So got a little tricky over here.
Yeah, I had the same situation in London session pretty much with a buy.
I have a question. Wasn't better at this trade to wait for candle to pass the high of the candle to enter? I've seen you do this sometimes. Yeah, but I was confident with this because of my analysis. That was the reason I executed on the trade, and that's why I didn't want for the high to be broken at that point. I think you shouldn't say when you enter a position people will follow you blindly and then blame you. That's fine, man. Like people blame people all the time, So if they can find one reason to blame someone else, that's totally fine. It's what we said in, I think it was on the Friday stream or Thursday stream, like to copy, you need to copy with the brain. It's it sounds much better in my own language. It doesn't sound better in English though. Do you think this 30-minute candle is just making a lower wick? Possibly. If it's making a lower wick, then the 15-minute needs to break above the high at that point. So this is where once it breaks the high, then it has a much higher probability to continue moving bullish. Maybe giving my trade a second chance at that point if we break the high at 159.80. Maybe. But for the most part, I'm going to stick with this little loss over here, and because I don't want to take any emotional decisions, So once price breaks the high, and it has only been like 5 minutes till I took the loss, so I think that's going to be an emotional decision to take that trade for it to give it a second chance. So I'm going to chill out here for a little bit. All right. Hey, my win today, really looking for the same setups, almost the same trade. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Pound AUD came right down over here for you. Very nice. Closed 80% at 13 pips. Hey guys, I'm in a losing streak, pretty bad, like 5 or 6 trades, but I manage my risk, I'm good at it, and the losses are really low. Well, Martin, I think the next thing we would have liked to hear was like, are you really learning from those losses? Like, if you're taking a loss, are you looking to see why you're taking the loss, how you could have taken the opposite trade, and those things there, they help a lot.
Hey, Raja,
Hey, Michael.
quick question. When you go and you take a trade, because your discipline is second to none, I really admire that. But when you do take a trade, your stop loss, is it always below the previous low, or do you have a set pip amount? Is it like 10 pips, or is it always below the previous low?
It's always below the previous low.
Okay.
Always below the previous low. But I can kind of like gauge when price is going to break the low.
Hello.
So hello, testing. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay. Yeah, so you can like always can gauge that if it's going to break the low or not. So that's where you can like really manage risk. So I was looking at the 5-minute candles, and obviously like I wanted this candle to kind of like break above the high to continue moving bullish, but when it started breaking the low and coming back in the middle of a range over here, kind of got uneasy at that. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna close maybe like 50%. And once it pushed even lower, I was like, well, rather than to wait for price to hit my stop, which I knew it would hit my stop, it's better to just close out the entire trade.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. When I take my first trade and my risk is 1% and take a loss, should I decrease my risk or continue with the same risk? I think you should continue with the same risk. The most damaging thing you can do to yourself is to reduce the risk in the next trade. You always have to keep the same risk, because if you're taking a trade on a 1% risk and you're losing that trade, and then you decide to lower your risk in the next trade, and if you win that next trade, you're still going to be in a net loss, right? But if you keep the same lot size and the same risk in the second trade and you win that trade, you're probably going to be at break even. Or if you managed risk in the first trade, you're probably going to be in a net win, because you use the same risk and you won the next trade. So that's something very important. GU is also rejecting the. Yes, go ahead. Who was
Yeah,
that?
I used that too, and it gave me a lot of confidence just using the same lots constantly.
Yeah, exactly. Brendan Formeza, are we giving a second chance to this trade? Maybe. There's no we in this game, Brandon. There's you and there's me. There's the Gulag, and then there's Zoom. I mean, I don't want to give, I don't know, I'm not going to give this trade a second chance at all now. If I'm going to look for a trade, like another opportunity on pound yen, it's probably going to be below 156.10. That's it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, so be it. I'm not really worried about it. Because I took one loss and that's perfect. Small loss, 4 pip loss, no problem at all. If I look at if is price breaking down, I got a wick at like 4 pips away, got support around 7 pips away, not enough range. Even if you come down to fill this wick, it's like 14 pips away, but it got a lot of it has a lot of problems to go through to come down to this area here. In my opinion, if this 30-minute candle closed like this, we are going down, we created support, now we are breaking it. Yes. Yes, I agree with that. But then there's another support right over here, there's another rejection right over here, so this is what's keeping me away from taking these sells. How long did it took you to be profitable? I'd say like around a year. I said like around 1 year it took to be profitable. And like, someone's going to say, oh, but I've been trading for about 6 years, 10 years, 5 years, and I still haven't been seeing profits. And the reason why is because you're just over trading. You overtrade, you over risk, and there's no discipline at that point. The day you realize that your breaking point is after you taking like one or literally just 1 or 2 trades a day and revise the entire session of that day. That's it. That's the secret sauce. There's no magic formula, there's no magic price action, nothing. That's basically it, and time. You got to give it time. You can't just do 1 or 2 trades a day for about 2 weeks and say, oh, I give it enough time. No, you got to give it time. You have to be reasonable with yourself. You got to give it at least 5 months, 6 months to really see where you're at with that 1 or 2 trades a day. We have a lot of guys who focus on 1 or 2 trades a day, and they are seeing consistency now, after 3 months, 4 months. But it does take that time. Most guys, to stay consistent for about, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and after one dumb loss, everything goes out the window. To start over trading, start over risking, and everything just goes down the drain. And like, no, you can't do that to yourself. What are the setups do you usually look for? I usually look for something that I executed on here today. That's what I look for. Price makes support, take buy to retest the high. But sometimes, it doesn't really happen. And when it doesn't happen, you got to look at that and say, well, maybe the probability wasn't there. So that's it. But if you can manage risk, I think that's even better at that point. I got caught in the fake out from gold. How do you learn from a fake out when all the signs were in your favor? Let's take a look over here. So 5-minute chart over here. Entered as price broke the low of the previous candle. I think when you entered and the candle closed bullish, you needed to close some positions at that point. Price reached another support, closed 50%. Price came down to support, fully retest, closed full again. Yeah, that's okay. You close full, But if you look on the smaller time frames, it did mean price are going to go down, but I guess you manage risk over there, you manage your trade. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. You manage your trade, right? Just like what I did here. You know, I took a buy and I managed my trade and I managed my risk, and that's it. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is ooh, what's this? Small retracement, stop loss in the previous candle, got stopped out in less than 10 minutes. Oh, yeah. I think the thing is, did you manage your trade over there on the smaller time frames? Let's take a look over here. I think it was this candle that came down, 5 a.m. candle. Yeah, I think you had opportunities to manage your risk on the 15-minute time frames. Your win rate is insane. I got 55% at best last month. Oh, nice. That's still pretty good. 55%. Even if you have a 50% win rate and you're managing risk, you're going to be in overall profits 100%. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Because you're managing risk, your losses are small, your winners are, you know, average. So overall, you should be in a net win. This is the entire area I'm concerned about on pound yen. I'm probably going to color this yellow. Yeah, this entire area I'm concerned about. Alright, let's take a look over here. Ooh, beautiful. Pound AUD. Sell candles down. Broke below the support here as well. Very nice. Secured 80% at 10 pips. Michael Montano, very nice.
Raja, I noticed your style is like naked Forex trading using price action. You look at the hour and the 30 minutes, and I see you execute a lot of trades on the 15-minute. When you look at higher time frames like 1 hour, 4 hour, do you sometimes look for patterns? Example, double top, double bottom, head and shoulders, things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because I'm looking at USD CAD on the hour, and it looks like there's a possible head and shoulders forming. I don't know if that's...
Okay. So, can you send a chart on
Yeah.
that? Because based on that, there's also a support right at 1.26450. And if we break that support, we got the next one around 1.26300. And I think that could be like a neckline on that head and shoulders.
Yeah.
What's this over here? I lost 4 trades and won 6 trades last week. Managed to make $700, so it's possible. You are completely right. Oh, nice. Very nice. Good job, Santiago. Santiago Blanco. I've been backtesting gold for 3 months, like Kervin said, and I like when price breaks a zone and wait for support resistance confirmation to take a trade, but I noticed that I missed larger trades when I should have impulse trade. How can I discern which style to trade? I think if you're worrying about missing larger moves, I think that comes from just putting stops at break even and letting it run based on the higher time frame. Because there have been times, a lot of times, where like, you know, we've basically seen that, okay, gold breaks, like, let's say a smaller zone on a smaller time frame, and it never comes back to that entry point and just continues pushing. So that comes from having the confidence of letting the position run. And the only way you can do that is just to let like a smaller run at one point. Then slowly, once you get positions running, slowly your confidence is going to increase in a way that you'll say, okay, you know what, maybe this time, instead of letting 10% run, I may want to let like 20% run or 40% run. You know, because if you've done it before, you've seen it happen before. So that's how your confidence can increase in that domain. How do you determine bias, and how do you always trade the trend? Well, Daniel, I think you need to send the chart of the pair you're talking about, and then we can take a look into that even further. Because that's a very open-ended question. Looking for sells below this area on GBP CAD. Oh, nice. We got a clean range over here in GBP CAD. We got a very, very clean range here. Let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame. 4 hours coming down as well. 4 hours rejecting that area. And let's see here. It's like a 24 pip range on the 4-hour. Tricky. Sorry, you seem to have missed my previous messages. Can you look at this chart, please? Would be a good setup with the... Okay, let's take a look over here. This is oil. In the next hourly candle closed bearish, could we be looking for a sell as the candle look left to no problem? Yeah, it's going to be an issue right here because we formed support over here. We formed another sort of like a rejection here. So I mean, if you can see rejection on a 30-minute time frame, I think that's going to be good to go down. But just based on price action, we need to break above this area for price to continue moving up.
Another rejection on the hourly candle from that support on JJ, man.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, if we do break above 159.980, we should be moving back up towards 151.100 at least.
Yeah.
When price breaks the sell zone, I wait for support to be created in the zone and wait for a break of the bullish candle. Yeah, you can enter with a small risk at that point if you want. Should I open a small lot on the break in full position when it breaks the bullish low? Yes. But it also comes from like trying, like, you know, testing and trying how often is that going to work or not. Because there's always a probability of something to either work or something to either not work in the long term. So that's why it takes like a long time to see the same things happen over and over again. Oh, wow, look at that. Maybe it's going to be a good idea to kind of wait for this candle to close first.
Yeah, wait for it. Doesn't matter if we miss the move, doesn't matter. The 30-minute candle retest to the previous 30-minute candle. Oh man, was so good.
Damn.
Damn, Daniel.
Imagine some people took buys right over here.
Yeah, no, wait for the candle to close.
But
like I said, the new hourly candle with New York volume, you may have the push, but you need this candle to close.
Yeah.
Gold's coming back down too.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, volume is coming back in again here. We got NY open coming up. Could be a really high volume time here once 8 a.m. hits.
Yeah.
Coming up, I think good target is going to be 151, 150, 151, 100. This candle is about to close in 4 minutes. Kind of want to take a smaller entry right over here and manage it as it continues moving bullish.
Or you can wait for the new hour to open, give you a small pullback to that there. I mean, it's up to you. Because FOMO is it's dangerous.
FOMO is really dangerous, that's true.
Yeah.
Got a minute left. A minute to win it. Let's take a look at this question over here. I took a sell here, waited for the candle to close below support, took a sell on gold. What did I do wrong? Nothing. You did nothing wrong. You just had to manage risk if price closed bullish and went back in the range. You basically had to manage risk at that point. That's it. You did nothing wrong. There wasn't a probability for price to continue down at that point, and you got to accept that. And maybe give your trade a second chance, once that does formulate, maybe closer to the news.
It's pushing, huh?
Yeah, it's going to close, and then I think we should be good to go to like 151, 100.
They create a down wick on the 1 hour and boom.
Yep.
Thank you.
Gold is also rejecting that level. Interesting. All right, let's take a look over here. It's coming down. Once it starts breaking above, 151, 18, 15, I think that's where I'm going to be executing a buy for price to continue moving bullish. Otherwise, it's going to be an extremely delicate situation. And of course, the 1 hour is also, so now technically looking at the 1 hour time frame, we created a support. We have a high over here for price to retest, but we just need a break above this area for price to really continue moving up. That's what we need at that point. Wow, look at that rejection. Damn.
Yeah, you basically want to see something like this. And then the moment the candle start breaking
Flip.
from
Yeah.
that thing, go for it.
Waiting for the flip.
Would you trade CPI? Probably, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where price is at that point. Yeah, I got to be really, really careful because already have a loss over here and don't want to take another loss. If there's another loss, that's like compounding on losses. That's the opposite of what you should be doing. All right, so this price is above 151. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Above 151. Over trading, no over trading. Over managing risk over here. That's what's happening. There's no over trading. Waiting for candle to close above 108, 900 for buys. Looks good. We also got CPI, so I think that has a lot to do with how USDJPY is ranging here at this moment as well. Wow, look at that, man. Good thing it didn't enter a buy at that point.
Yeah, it's dangerous that you look for entries right at the new hour opening, because we know that you're always gonna have a pullback in the first 5-15 minutes of the hourly candle. So better wait. And gold is playing games with this range.
Yeah. Gold has a clean range till 1715 here. Let's take a look at this Euro JPY idea. Strong buys below the support. Good traffic to the left. I think you meant sells. Michael Montano. You got clean support down over here. You got to measure how big this range is. Down to this area here. And then down to this area right over here. Early morning in California. Oh, nice. Man, you know what? I really appreciate people who come on here from the West Coast, right? California, West Coast? Yeah, West Coast. It's super early for you guys, but you guys still make it. I really appreciate it.
In Brazil, it's very late. Here is 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Viva Brazil. Viva Brazil.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Gold 1 hour chart. Looking to short 1718 if it rejects with CPI at 830. Okay, I think you know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna wait for the 30-minute candle to close, and I'm gonna put a sell stop below the 30-minute candle and a buy stop above the 30-minute candle. But it's not guaranteed I'm gonna do that, so I'm gonna probably call it out if I do decide to do that, because it could become a very interesting situation if both things get activated with the spread. That's going to be a very, very bad day here for Raja Banks. Wow, before the news, look at this. What's happening over here? Crazy wicks here on 30-minute time frame. Gold also retracing. Wow. When was the last time you had a losing streak? I think it was in January. I think in January I had like string of 2 losses, 3 losses, I think. So I had my first loss here for the month. Ooh, what's this? Hi, Mr. Raja. I need your opinion, please. I have a career right now, but because of that career path caused me to less spend quality time with my family. I plan to quit and do Forex trading full time. Your thoughts? Um, I don't know. I have no idea how you're trading, how your profitability is, your consistency is. So it could be very difficult to kind of like answer that question. But I think if you're consistently making withdrawals from trading, I think that's when you can go full time in. And also if those withdrawals are more than what you're making in your career, that's when you should start looking at full-time trading. But if you're not making withdrawals that are equal to the money you're making at your job, and then I don't think that's a good idea at that point. I don't think so. That's one mistake I wish I didn't make in the start. I quit.
GJ.
Oh, look, GJ.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
Ay, ay, ay.
Dropping hard.
yeah. Damn. Damn.
Ay, ay, ay.
This 4-hour candle is gonna look nice.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Imagine people took buys here with NY open to continue moving up with no stops.
Yeah.
Just got demolished. Yeah. For sells, I'm waiting for below 156.10 for sells. What happened over here? Did your JPY get affected too? Ooh, your JPY also got affected. I think yen, USD yen also got affected.
So then watch out for gold may drop also. What happened?
No, gold may go up because if because if the yen got stronger, which is why all yen pairs got affected, then gold should start moving up over here. Yeah, this is a lot of volatility. I'm going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. I'm not even going to touch it. This is like fire right now. All right, I'm going to be back.
Quem falou português antes?
Eu, meu amigo.
Holly.
Eu.
Who is it that speaks Portuguese?
Rafael Nunes.
Rafael.
Oi, man.
Nice.
And Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano
Yes,
Ronaldo.
sir. We have some Brazilians here.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Is another Brazilian here?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
You guys are putting bossa nova or what?
Because it might trigger the copyright.
What are you saying, Jazzer?
It might trigger the the copyright thing, the YouTube copyright.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's not good.
Put it off.
Thanks, man. Those are for private sessions.
Have you taken anything, Jazzer?
Yeah, I took the same one as
Raja.
yeah, Raja. That's it. That's just wait now.
Carlos.
Tell me.
Hey man, you're looking for sales on GG to break up.
Yeah,
this
but
4
it
hour,
has to-
right?
I would like this 4 hour to close below 605.
Mm-hmm.
Then a retest.
Yeah. Looking at the 4 hour looks Gucci, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
hope we
Double top
break-
on the 4 hour. Strong
Yes.
bearish bullish candle. Engulfing candle, sorry.
Mm-hmm. If we break that support on the 4 hour, the 156.64, man, it's gonna be a nice move because you have a structure easily toward 150, 360, 70. Sorry.
We also have news in 20 minutes, so let's see. It can ruin everything.
Oh, it was something to do with the yen. It's set to seek yield fluctuations after review. Oh. What are they doing awake at this time?
Exactly. That's that. Don't you think that's fishy? Why they release those news during New York opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of manipulation. They should be in bed at this time.
Yeah, man. Trust.
I'm at break even, but hesitation is pushing me back from trading. I will join microfluidity. Can we overcome that together with your help? No. The only way you can recover that or overcome that is to just focus on, I'm going to say it again, 1 or 2 trades a day, and you got to execute. Hesitation comes from low confidence, so you have to execute. And you have to give it time, execute. Because here's the thing, I always say this, right? Whenever you execute on a trade, you're executing into greatness. Because if you're going to take a losing trade, you're going to have the ability to learn from that losing trade. But if you're going to take a winning trade, then you're going to know that, okay, I took a winning trade, maybe how I can replicate that trade the next day. This is really going to help you. And you're like, obviously, like revising the session you're trading and all that, like that also comes with that same part as well. How do you build confidence to execute trades? By executing trades. I have 160 drawdown and literally none of it comes from GJ. I used to overtrade like a mother effer. I don't know what I was doing, trading platinum and US 30. Platinum and US 30. Yeah, man, US 30 is really going to play around. I have losing streaks. Should I shift to demo account? So I'm going to repeat what I said this morning again like 4 times. If you're having a losing streak, you need to take a look at your losses and you need to see why are you taking that loss. Was there something you missed? Was there something you ignored? I can guarantee you this much. No matter how many times I say it, only 10% of the people they look at their losses and they look to see how they could have taken a winning trade. Only 10%. The rest just they don't look at their losses at all. I don't know. I mean, I just have no idea. I just have no idea why you guys don't want to take a look at your losses. I always take a look at my loss. I mean, I take a look at this loss over here, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe the probability wasn't here, but the only good thing I did with this loss was I managed my risk. And if I look to see if there was another buying opportunity, I don't see any buying opportunity. If I see any selling opportunity, nothing. This was just from the news. So if you don't take a look at your losses, you will always have winning streaks and you will never ever know why you're losing. No mentor is going to be able to help you. You can go sign up to any signal services. You may make money, you may lose money, but at the end of the day, you're always going to be at break even. Man, trust me, if signal services made you money, people wouldn't be selling signals on a monthly subscription. Trust me on that. Looking at your loss now, would you do anything differently? No, I wouldn't do anything differently. I executed based on what I've seen in the past, and I would execute on this over and over again. There was nothing I would change. Also, at the same time, I managed my risk as well, so I think it was a pretty good outcome. What time is it in Japan? What time is it in Japan? I have no idea because I don't live in Japan. Local time in Tokyo. Oh, look, it's 10:16 p.m. They should be sleeping, but they are awake. Gold is coming up to 17.15 over here too. We're also coming closer to CPI here, so we're going to see what happens. Hey, is there anything like big happening in at around 9 a.m.? Something related to treasury or something.
Oh, the bond auctions?
Bond auctions, yes. Oh, it's not here. Is it the monthly budget statement? No. Yeah, pretty tough day here today.
Hey, Raja.
Hello there.
Yo, congrats on the SRT, man. Holy.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I just, how you were talking about if somebody's in a career and they're, considering moving into trading full time. Could you continue on that?
Like, is there like a specific thing or?
Yeah, I remember you were mentioning, someone has to be in a certain position within trading. They should be taking out profits and cashing out before and making more money than what they're earning at the job, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you're trading and you're looking to go into full-time trading, then you need to be at least making the same amount you're making at your job, or withdrawing that same amount. And yeah, because if you're not withdrawing the same amount, then there's going to be a lot of pressure on trading, and that's 100%. 99% of the time it's not going to work. 99% of the time, because you're going to be pressured to basically succeed at that point. I have a problem that I don't execute any trade unless there's a bottom wick to take a buy and vice versa. What do you think I should do? Always miss the trade because of this. Well, if you're missing the trade, you need to take a look at that and see that, okay, if you missed that trade, how could you have taken a part in that trade? How could you have executed in that trade? And try to really explain to yourself, there's a lot of power in talking to yourself, like when you do things like this, like when you're doing exams, when you're doing some a task that requires a lot of mental dexterity, you need to talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. You know, it may seem like sometimes I just like blabber on and on live streams, but that basically me talking to myself when I'm looking to execute on a trade. You know, and sometimes I can talk myself into a trade, and sometimes I can talk myself out of a trade. You know, just like what happened right here when price came down. I basically talked myself out of the trade as it came down to the stop loss. So, like, you know, if you're missing out on trades, just try to explain to yourself how could you have executed on that trade, and that's really going to help you. Where does Capital Hungry get his news? I remember he mentioned it on his program, but I can't remember the day. He has a news terminal that he uses. I think it's like 500 a month, 800 a month, something like that. It's not Bloomberg, it's something else that he pays. Or maybe it could be Bloomberg. Oh, it's 12,000 a year. Oh yeah, Econ. There we go. EIKON, Econ. Router Econ. 12,000 a year. It's like 1,000 a month. Not bad actually. 1,000 a month. Like if you're making, let's say, 7-8 grand a month from trading, you can spend like 1,000 a month. Like it's like an investment. Do you notice Wednesday is often a harder day to trade of the week? You know what? 4 years ago, Wednesday used to be the worst day for me to trade. The worst day. And the reason why it used to be the worst day was because either market would be trending, and if market would be trending, I'd be trying to take the opposite trades, you know, because I was like, oh yeah, it's going up, okay, let's start taking sells, and then I'd be losing, you know, or market would be ranging like this and having big moves, and I'd be like just like chasing price at that point. So Wednesdays used to be the worst day here for me. Why pay 1,000 a month for a news site? Well, you're missing the point. It's not a news site. People who know the value of, you know, Router Econ or even Bloomberg, they know the value of that. So it's not about paying $1,000, it's about the information you're getting. It's the value of the information. Good morning, gents. Took a GU London session after finally walking away from GJ people last week. GJ was slapping my face. Oh wow, look at that. Candle broke the low, we came down, broke support, 30-minute time frame, took an entry, 10 pips, beautiful. I think what we can really notice is that whenever price moves, just try to see how much price moves. Normally you will always get 12, 13 pips in a move. All the time. And then you're going to have retracements. Retracements, drawdowns, maybe continuations after that, but that's what I've seen most of the time. We got 8 minutes left for CPI, and gold is really ranging over here. Tapped into 1715, rejected that level. Wow, playing a lot of games here, gold. Look at that range. Okay, so let's see over here. Let's take a look at this chart. Not managed risk properly over here. Gold, yeah, we already talked about this. Executed sells after breaking the previous low. I think you needed to manage risk over here. You know, what I would have done is I would have closed 50% when this candle closed bullish, and then I would have closed another 50% when this candle broke the high of the previous candle, and once it hit my stop loss, I would have lost way less than I anticipated to lose. So that's something you can learn from this loss. You know, having a loss is one thing, and really managing that loss is a whole nother thing. We have a lot of webinars on risk management. We have a whole section on risk management, and then we also had a class on risk management as well. And if you haven't really, you know, focused on those ideas, I strongly recommend you spend some time doing those classes. All right, we got 6 minutes left over here. Pound yen is still in this range here. We had a breaking news. I'm going to be looking to see how big is this wick over here. So this is a volatile candle. It's like a 37, 30, 38 pip big candle over here. Yeah, I don't think I can have a buy stop above this candle or a sell stop below this candle. I don't think that's going to be a good idea at that point.
Looks like GG is creating some sort of resistance. I'd like to see with CPI if we're gonna get a drop. Not looking big move on GG, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like GG at all.
At least 150, 500 can be easy. Yeah.
Kervin, when you say resistance, you mean on the 5 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Hey guys, how does CPI usually affect gold? Is it a big thing?
Yeah. It affects the dollar a lot. So it'll, you know, dollar strong, it'll push it down.
Thanks.
Would you place stops on gold in 4 minutes? Nope. No stops on gold. And the only reason is that they'll be pretty big at this point. Yeah, they'll be really big at this point. You got a buy stop, you're looking at around 35 pips away. You got a sell stop, you're looking at around, you know, like 15 pips away. So it's going to be pretty massive, so I'm going to stay away. If the candle didn't move much before the news, would you put stops? Yes, I would have put it then, but like this is way too big at this point. So I'm going to be staying away. I think what I might do is I might have a sell stop. Actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I already have a losing trade here, and if price activates my sell stop and moves up, I don't think that's going to be a good idea to compound on a loss. So I'm going to stay away. Oh. All right. What do you think about the risk management on this trade? This is gold. Oh, I guess a lot of people took the same gold trade. Entry over here, closed half on the candle flip bullish. Okay, looks good. Closed half, closed another. Yeah, looks good. Trade management is good at this point. A lot of guys took the same sells on gold. But the only thing was, did you manage risk? That's the only thing. If you didn't manage risk, then there's a problem, because we've had 2 webinars so far in risk management, and you should go through those ideas here. I'm in US 30 buys. I hope it doesn't ruin my trade. Well, let's take a look over here. I know last time what happened with NFP was that price retraced and then it moved up. Yeah, we got to break above this area to continue up on US 30. They're looking at positive numbers here too for CPI. Got 50 seconds left. Mate. It's going to be a really good learning opportunity here. $30 seconds left. Your risk management seminar is sold out? Yes, because it was a virtual class and it's gone now. All right. If they're looking at good numbers, I think we should be breaking below 1711 and continuing down. The way Kevin said, yep, looks like he's in a sell. Oh.
I'm hunting GJ sells.
Oh, wow. Moved up.
Yeah.
US 30 also moved up.
On call, be careful because these buys right now can be easily a short-term buys on call. If you reject that 17.18, be aware that you can get a rejection from there.
Let's take a look over here. Someone is saying spread is wild. Yes, it's the news. Oh, news came out as expected and core CPI came out bad. Yeah, it's like a pretty wishy-washy news. You know, one came out really good. No, one came out as expected, one came out bad. I mean, yeah, this day was a character building day because I don't think anything meaningful happened here today except for that yen news here. We're still rejecting 150, 600, 650 here, not really breaking below this area. I just placed buy stops on gold and it froze on minus 100, refreshed the page, and then I was 150 in profit. Oh, nice. Nice one. Oh, gold buy stop work. Looks like guys are learning about those buy stops and sell stops above and below the 30-minute candles. US 30 went up. I think GU also went up over here. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, GU also went up. Why did gold go up on this news? Because I think core CPI was bad, so maybe that's what pushed gold up. What's the difference between core CPI and CPI? Let's take a look over here. CPI is the change in the prices of goods and services purchased by consumers. Okay, what was the change in the prices of stuff you buy? And core CPI is services purchased by consumers, including food and energy. Oh, okay. Core CPI is services and CPI is just... Did Raja take gold? No, I didn't take any trade. I only took one trade. I had $1,500 to trade, lost $1,000, used the remaining $500 to buy market fluidity. I tend to not overtrade on demo. Any advice, especially now that I have your course? Will demo be worth it? So by studying your course. I think the best thing would be to do is to maybe fund like a smaller account, like a $50 account or a $100 account, and really start to focus on 1 to 2 trades. That's it, 1 to 2 trades. Going over the unlearn and relearn section, that's going to bring you up to speed with price action. But other than that, I think it's going to be a much better idea to just focus on 1 or 2 trades and really, I mean, it sounds, I may sound like a broken record, but when you take 1 or 2 trades a day, you can really learn from those 1 or 2 trades. There's nothing else I can say. You have to focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. I mean, education is what it is at the same time, but really learning from the trades you take, really revising your session is going to make you a much better, disciplined trader. And you got to give it time. You have to give it time. Will there be another class on risk? No, probably not. Was there any way to trade the news on GJ? No. There's no reason for you to trade news at all. There's no reason at all. News is very risky. Why are you specifically waiting for price to go below 156.10 on GJ? Because if we get below 156.10 on the 1 hour time frame, there's a very clean move that happened before on the 8th March. And I think we can mirror that entire move coming down there as well. So if I get that here today in the next 20 minutes, then so be it. But if I don't, then it is what it is. Ooh, gold is off to the races now. 1722 coming up.
Yeah.
Take a look at DXY also. Just dropping.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
It's moving. Yes, now it's moving.
Crazy. Stuck on the daily. Broke the daily high over there. Coming out to a rejection area on the 4 hour time frame. Are you getting FOMO with gold? No, not at all. No FOMO at all. Because I know tomorrow I can have a good trade.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
See this gold moving beautiful to 1725 at least.
You took that, Kerwin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you do review videos for your trades for the week? Sometimes I do. You know, when I got time, because they take a lot of time. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ 30-minute chart. Sells below this area for price to continue down. TP on sells down over here. Looks good. Yeah, we're just ranging at this point on GJ. Strange range here. How long you think gold is going to go up for? No idea. No idea. All we can do is we can have targets, and if gold hits those targets, perfect. There's not a set amount of time that we get in the market that gold will go up for the next 2 hours or 3 hours. If that was the case, we would all be billionaires, but that's not how things work. Do you think buys are valid back above 151? I would say above 151.200 would be much better. Yeah, above 151.200 because that's above the highs, and then you have no traffic to the left hand side. That's going to be much better because this is a whole like consolidation area here at this point. How do you manage the risk, for example, in gold when you enter on 5-minute time frame, or you let it hit your full stop loss? I basically let it break the previous highs or the previous lows, and then that's how I manage my risk on gold. Damn, look at that rejection. 39, 40 pip rejection. Holy crazy. Today, either people had a really small loss day here today. Maybe they had a really nice win today, or they had the worst day possible today.
Options. Pick one.
Yeah, I got options. I had a small loss day here today.
Oh yeah, on what? Oh, GJ?
Yeah, I took GJ buys and broke my winning streak today.
Oh wow.
Hey Kerwin, did you get out of that gold trade, or were you at there?
I secured at 1723 now on sales.
Well done.
Yeah. Now this, because this move can easily become a fake up. Like I said, we're playing in a massive range on gold from 1709 to 1719. So these wicks outside that range doesn't scare me at all. I know that I can easily get rejections outside the box that I drew this morning. So if that's the case, I will hold this sell for longer to retest that low, the low on the box or toward the 1709. Other than that, if the 5 minute, let's say this 5 minute, the current 5 minute candle close inside this area, right, below 1719. So the idea is gonna be that this is becoming a fake out, so gold can easily at this point grab liquidity for the daily candle to give you a nice drop.
So you're pinpointing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now I'm 32 pips in profits. But I mean, it is gonna come to you with experience. Don't try to catch these moves, man. Yeah.
That's ballsy.
You gotta know where you're playing in the market.
Yeah, for sure.
Because right now on the 4 hour, we're back to that 17 range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I secure 75%, and I'm gonna let the rest run. Stop loss is outside that resistance, because I know that gold, when gold breaks so strong, you will get these massive pullbacks, But at this point, I'm not trying to risk anything. The move was done. Whoever got the buy on gold outside this resistance now is getting getting scared, because at this point you're basically like 20 pips and drop down. But yeah, what was expected on gold? Crazy, man. What that day?
Yeah, I think on GJ it would be best to just wait for the break of 151 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Right above that bearish 30-minute candle with no top wick.
Yeah, we were looking to go long.
Yeah.
Around that area, but price couldn't go above 151 after that 1 hour bullish close.
Yeah, I guess CPI has some impact to it.
Yeah. And for shorts below 60, that could give us a nice push to 40.
Yeah, 600. Oh, yeah, 150, 600. That's my sell area.
Yeah.
Right now it's just playing around 151, 100 and 150, 700. It's just bouncing back and forth. Yeah, it's not gonna be any trade unless we break.
What a rejection on gold! Jesus Christ. Man.
Yeah.
And that is gold.
I got 8 pips on the break of 5 minute.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 seconds.
You took it.
You saw that move coming, Gabe?
Yeah, I saw the move coming on the 1 minute from the very top, but I hesitated on it. I'm like, and then I saw that shit moving. I'm like, that's down 20 pips. What the hell? I didn't enter.
Yeah, me too.
But good for you. That was a great trade.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
And as of gold on the higher time frames, I think we're already breaking that bearish structure to continue for that retest to 1800.
Even on the 30 minutes, you know, if you draw a line from previous wicks, you know, you will see that rejection is there one more time. It's crazy.
Yeah, 1723.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we break above that, then bias will be bullish.
Yeah.
So we're still like trying to find that sentiment.
Yes.
Boring day, huh? I'm gonna jump in the gulag's chat just to build.
Yeah. Call it a day on gold. That was
Yeah.
that was it. Gulag. What's going on, Gulag? Damn, not even 1,000 likes.
Come on, guys. 800. Let me get.
Come on, Mac, push it.
Let's push it. 800.
So boring today, man.
Yeah.
I said that. I said that same thing. I'm like, it was boring today, and these people are just attacking me, saying, "Oh, you came here late." Funny thing is that they don't know I don't sleep.
You're an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martinez, Hacha, yes, I'm a donkey.
That sounds a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Stop doing that noise.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Cheers, Rainier and Chia.
Which pairs Raja watches? No, mainly gold and GG.
Raja, low key, you're placing trades, right?
Me? No.
Ah, that's why you went to the bathroom. Yeah.
No, I went to put the garbage out. It's it's garbage day today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trading. I only took one trade today. It was a 4 pip loss here today, and that's it.
That's good.
First full stop loss of 2021. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Let's go ahead.
G is also trying to move up here a little bit. GJ, it is what it is.
Oh, there it goes. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those days where just like, kind of like trash market volume here today, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's better play poker or something.
7 a.m.
Well, on the bright side, it's a pretty good weather here today. We have 14 degrees out in the morning.
The weathercast.
Yeah, it's 14
Bright
degrees.
side, the weather's good out here today.
Yeah.
Yesterday was pretty hot. It was incredibly hot in New York. I'm telling you, I had to turn off the heater, open up the windows. Man, I was sweating.
We're going skiing today too.
When?
Nice.
Yesterday, Mac?
Yeah, yesterday.
But the day
New York.
before you told me was on 28.
Yeah. Climate change. I'm telling you.
Wow.
That shit's real.
Now move to Canada.
Yeah.
You can buy a house next to Raja.
Yeah.
Imagine that combo every day.
Every day, there's Mac right there.
Oh my god.
On his porch.
He will call the cops on me.
Every morning. Hey, coach. Hey, coach.
Hey, coach, I'm here. You want me to shovel your snow?
No, I think it's going to be a good time.
Yesterday was like 60 something. And come on, 5 more likes and 1K.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
You know what? To be honest, I really expected a lot of volume here on Wednesday. I mean, the only volume came on pound yen was from the yen news, and that's about it. That's about it. Even looking at the 4-hour, we're just rejecting the same area we got rejected in a London session. We're just basically ranging over here. Gold also seems like we're really respecting this rejection area on the 4-hour.
Delicate situation on gold.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 1,000 likes.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you. This is becoming normal now. There was a time when 50 viewers on the stream was normal. We're like, oh yeah, we're getting 50 people every day. It's amazing. Then we got to 100, we got to 200, then 500 became normal. 3,000 now, 3,400, 4,000. Man, crazy. Did I miss news on gold? Yes, you did. News was 20 minutes ago. How many subscribers do I need now to get to 100K so we can get that silver button? Ooh, 2,000 more subscribers. Wow.
Oh man, yeah.
That's easy for you, man.
No, you know what? YouTube is growing faster than my Instagram, and that's pretty crazy. What news made GJ drop? It was the breaking news on the yen right here. You can see it in the news tab up on Forex Factory. That actually made a lot of yen pairs drop, really. My first time trading with your strategy, I lost on GJ, but what a learning experience. Oh, amazing. Your nickname is also Els. Yeah, I think the only learning experience I had with this loss on GJ was to manage risk. Really manage my risk. I'm pretty happy with that. You should promote yourself on TikTok. You know what? TikTok takes a lot of time, and I honestly don't have that much time to do the TikTok thing.
Yeah, it does, and it takes a lot of creativity.
Yes.
I made a TikTok. It took me like 2 hours. All I did was just add smoke to it.
But to be honest, the problem with TikTok is that to upload a video, the interface is so complicated. I mean, too much, man.
You got too much options.
Yeah, way too many options. That's right. It's probably because we're getting old.
Yes, that's it.
I think that's it. It's because we're getting old. Because if you see Charlie D'Amelio and all these girls, I don't think they're that smart.
Because maybe they use it every single day.
Yeah, I mean, they probably started using it since they came out. But, you know, these girls, I don't think they're that smart. But it's. I think we're good.
The fact that Mac knows all these people is Mac spends a lot of time at TikTok.
No,
I'm like, who the fuck are they?
I don't even know these people, man. Like you said their names like they're
just cute girls.
I don't even know them, man. Like I was thinking more of like guys like what's that name?
Khan, the
Khan.
one that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kong, like him. They're really, really talented, creative guys. Like they put these transitions and these ideas in their videos.
I just like the girls dancing.
Oh man,
like
Hornito.
Yeah.
There should be a mentorship on what to say on the live streams and what not to say on the live streams. I should probably start that mentorship.
Yeah, I'll join.
Yeah, gold is just stuck here now. If it closes below 1718, we're rejecting that level pretty hard. Hey Raja, you have helped me with explaining my relationship status. I tell people that there's a high probability that this is a delicate situation and I'm managing risk. That applies to everybody. Yesterday I called my guy. I'm like, hey, listen, I need to get PPF done on my car. He's like, oh, it's gonna be the 3,500. I'm like, man, that's a delicate situation over there. He's like, yeah, I know, man, they're expensive. I'm like, so how can we mitigate risk? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, give me a better trade. He's like, all right, 2,800. I'm like, okay, perfect, makes sense. Man, trust me, when you're trying to bargain with somebody, just say, that's a delicate situation, I don't know. 2,800 for coating? No, it was, I think they're charging 1,500 for ceramic coating and 2,800 for the front end of the PPF. Protective paint, whatever it's called.
Yeah, PPF is good, man.
Yeah, PPF.
And what's the warranty on that? On the PPF?
PPF?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it supposed to be like 10 years?
Oh, nice.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I think it's lifetime. Kind of like how when you tint your windows, they give you like lifetime warranty.
But at least if you get a warranty on the product, like for example, for 5 years, that's awesome though. Because after 5 years, think about it. Most likely you're not gonna have the same car. So
yeah, it's 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
5 to 10 years.
That price is good.
How do you feel? How do you feel when you pay for things in CAD and then compare that amount to Pakistani rupee? I feel awesome. I also feel awesome when my withdrawals change from USD to CAD. That's also another awesome feeling. I noticed that a lot of guys that sell courses are actually current and former Gulag members.
Oh, wow.
FBI.
It's got FBI over here.
That's a strong statement.
You know what I was thinking the other night? All these signal providers, I think they all copy each other. Like, have you noticed that all these signal providers, they all do GJ, and it's TB1, TB2, and it's always like around 10 pip increments. And whenever it's like there's a signal out, you got like 10 other people putting out the same signal. So they have like a committee of signal providers.
Yeah, there's I was actually looking into that, and there are companies that will sell out signals in like a wholesale.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're like wholesale signals, and then that's why you'll get like a lot of guys like they give out almost the same biases, but the stops are a little bit different to kind of like differentiate from the other ones. That's what I've seen, and I was like, oh wow.
Yes. That corrupt the industry.
Yeah. Thank you for all the knowledge you shared. I'm new to the stream. I just started. I would like some advice on a platform to use on a Mac PC for a beginner. I don't know about Macs. If you ask me about Macs, I'll just say just sell the MacBook and buy 2 Windows. But maybe
TradingView or MT4 on parallels or MT5.
MT4
Yeah,
or MT5.
You need parallels to run Windows.
What time?
The Mac outside the window.
What time does Wix Not Lie go on and off? Keep missing the notifications. Well, Miss Sasha Grace, if you read the description, we go on at about 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Oh, what's happening over here? Last week I finished 8-1. This week 3-4. Yeah, this week has been pretty hard so far that I'm looking at price action. The only thing I can see is I've over-risked, but as far as the win ratio, maybe cut out possible third trades. I've seen the charts every loss for the feedback. Yeah, I think you really got to manage your risk. That's it. Don't have to over-risk. Don't have to over-trade. I mean, look, I took one trade, small loss. I called it a day. I didn't participate in the gold buys. I didn't participate in the rejection on gold at 1723. Nothing. I just took one trade, small loss. I called it a day. And now I'm going to be back tomorrow for another trade.
Hey, Raj.
Hey.
I have a question for the guy that was talking about parallels. I just wanted to know if there was any like lag time on MT5 since it don't matter.
No. I mean, if you have like at least like 8 gigs of RAM, you should be good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
But can you prove it?
Assalamu alaikum, Raja bhai.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Sir, I'm fine, thank you. Sir, basically, I want to ask that which simulator do you use? I think it was like Forex simulator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, is it paid?
It's paid, yeah.
All right.
Where are you in Pakistan?
Sir, I'm from Karachi and I'm appointed as an excise taxation officer in revenue department.
Oh.
So it's pretty hard to trade. It's pretty hard.
Nice. Yeah.
Trying my best.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in April.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's something's wrong with your mic over there.
I'm saying it will be exciting, inshallah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, so the new 4-hour candle has started on GJ at this point. There's a probability to fill this 4-hour wick over here. Let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour also has a wick fill. 30-minute is bullish, so no sells. The only thing is, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Don't want to get into the over trading sense over here. So I'm going to call it a day at this point.
All right, coach. See you.
Yeah, took one trade, small loss. Still good, pretty good. Still in the game. The thing is, when you take a loss, you need to stay in the game. You can't take the amount of losses that's going to put you outside of the game. You got to stay in the game. Yeah. All this tomorrow. All right, everybody. Take care. Have fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Raja bhai.
Yes, sir. Raja.